343's Halo games are shit. We notice. One of the reasons for that is the trend chasing and copying their games do, whether it be chasing the trends of COD, or chasing the trends of advanced movement, or chasing the trends of slop shite. But the one thing that 343 has ripped off for far too long and gotten away with is Mass Effect. 343 came into Halo from a hateful standpoint. They saw it as an old, outdated franchise that had to be fixed for the modern gaming audiences. So they chased the trends and told the OG Halo fans to fuck right off. That they weren't wanted anymore, and that the thing they liked was for old, outdated people. Well, it didn't really work out for them, not realizing that COD fans aren't dropping their latest pile of shit slop to play your sci-fi ripoff. But from this standpoint, 343 looked at Halo and decided it needed to be fixed, to be updated. How so? By making it more like other franchises, like COD, or this video's topic, Mass Effect. What makes me say 343 ripped off Mass Effect? Well, look at Halo 4's story and its very similar elements to Mass Effect. First off of the most obvious, the fucking lens flares everywhere. The art style is a lot more Western sci-fi like Mass Effect instead of the Japanese-inspired sci-fi that Bungie started out with in Halo CE. Now let's look at the story. The story is about Master Chief stopping a villain in his synthetic army who has a hatred of humanity and has a goal to harvest humans into becoming synthetics to further his goals of conquest, which is very similar to Saren in Mass Effect. Is it any wonder we have Prometheans? They are pretty much the Geth and Halo story here, without the in-depth plot around them. I mean, let's look at the composer. A ship that harvests human into becoming units for its cause? Where have I seen this before? Oh right, the Reapers. The ones who harvest the galaxy and turn the dominant race into the galaxy into juice to power up the new fresh Reaper variant. Then Halo 5 comes along, introduces the Guardians, which can wipe out entire planets, fleets, and are pretty much unstoppable by normal means, and controlled by an annoying bitch of an AI that has completely retarded reasons for wanting to do its goals. Now what does that remind us of? The annoying Star Child that gets thrown out the airlock.
Throw it out the airlock.
No, don't.
If only Lasky knew how to do that when that flat-chested bitch came onto his ship. Let's go back to Halo 4 for a second. Remember Commander Palmer, the smug bitch who just comes out of nowhere? She's voiced by Jennifer Hale, who is the same voice actor for FemShep in Mass Effect. Look at the games they made with Palmer and the focus they put onto her. Some say she was Johnson's replacement, but nah, she was supposed to be the female Master Chief, like the FemShep of Halo, and they completely failed at it because she's just another forgotten Reclaimer Saga character that's mentioned in some book that nobody read, but some YouTuber will summarize it for you because why actually tell the story in the games? The sad thing is they could have made her character work. It was such wasted talent and poor character writing. Compare Palmer to FemShep in Mass Effect. It's a night and day difference of good character writing. Instead of writing a caring, laid-back commander who wants the best for her crew, they wrote a smug, cocky girl boss that got forgotten about forever. Now, the most blatant example of them ripping off Mass Effect comes with what they did with the Elites, and once you guys hear this, you will understand more to why the Elites are the way they are in 343's games compared to Bungie's. 343 turned the Elites into discount Krogan for their games. Look at their more brutish designs. Their more brutish walking and animation patterns, similar to how the Krogan are in Mass Effect. Their voices are much more brutish and alien.
Envoy are resisting. Throw the envoy out the airlock.
Their combat is more brutish. Everything about them is more generic alien than the Halo Elites we know and love. Then you have their culture and story in 343's games. The Arbiter, after Halo 3, goes back to Sanghelios, gets ancestral armor, and a quest to unite the Sangheli clans under one Sanghelios nation. This is literally word for word the exact same arc that Rex has in Mass Effect. It's literally a ripoff. Arbiter also has to fight for the rights of the female Sangheli, similar to what Rex has to do in Mass Effect 3 for the Krogan. Now, this was done because, according to the lead writer at 343, Arbiter is a male feminist, even though he mentioned nothing about the hoes in the Bungie games. There is no mention of female elites in all of Bungie's games aside from the option to play as one in Halo 3. Which means female elites are allowed in combat, it's an option in Halo 3, which makes me believe this whole plot point of Sangheili barring women from entering combat or leadership roles is just a 343 addition because they wanted to have some feminist social commentary. In that case, where's the social commentary on the male jackals that have less rights than the female jackals in their matriarchal society? Shouldn't the idea be discrimination is bad no matter what group is committing it? Either way, this type of plot doesn't fit with the elites. It's not like in Mass Effect where the Krogan are actually shown to have issues of gender relations. The elites are an honorable race. There is no reason for them to be made into Krogan ripoffs. Even the brutes would have fit better for that if you really want to rip off anything. Not that you should. But it all goes to show how out of touch 343 is. How do you look at this character who goes on a journey of finding out his ideology and belief system is based entirely on lies, and go on about this nonsense that has nothing to do with Halo 2's plot? This writer also claimed the Gravemind raped Cortana. How fucked in the head do you have to be to look at this scene and go, that's the first thing that comes to your head? The Gravemind doesn't give two shits about sexual intercourse, it just wants information to put into Hivemind. Like, this guy made articles talking about how the older Bungie games are filled with, like, rape stuff. Like, saying that, oh, when Halo 2, when Miranda is threatened by Tartarus, Tartarus is implying that he'll rape her. What? This is who you're hiring to work on the Halo games? This guy? Who sees rape and everything? And then he says, oh, fell, a literal knight in shining armor. Miranda and Cortana are such damsel in distresses. How sexist. No. You want to talk about damsel in distresses, look at how many times Johnson gets captured and free. This isn't a gender thing. This isn't like this whole thing about how, oh, it's like the male fantasy of one. No, that's not what this is about. You do realize Cortana is the one operating the MAC gun in Halo 2.
Commander, get to your ship. Link up with the fleet.
Yes, sir.
You have the MAC gun, Cortana. As soon as they come in range, open up.
Gladly.
She's killing thousands of Covenant. You do realize there's plenty of female Marines and Spartans that can hold their own in the Bungie games, right? You do realize Miranda can hold her own. Just because she's not able to take on a fucking 12-foot tall brute who has a very powerful, like, what are you supposed to do in that situation? And Tartarus isn't there to, like, how can you say this? This is what I mean when these people took a glance at the gaming industry or at Halo without actually understanding what it is and just labeled it problematic. They just made assumptions. They just made shit up. This guy made a whole article just attacking Halo 3, saying it's rape-coded, saying, like, mocking the fact that it has a happily ever after ending. And it's like, oh no, humanity is saved, that Reach gets terraformed, how horrible that it's not nihilistic slop like every other sci-fi franchise that's hateful towards humanity. Halo's actually hopeful for humanity. Like, how miserable of a person you have to be bitching about a happy ending to a video game. God forbid a sci-fi franchise actually give a good future for humanity and actually make us the good guys. God forbid that happens, because, oh no, it's not nihilistic fucking slop. Well, like, we get it. You hate yourself, you hate humans, you view them as parasites who are killing the world. Well, Halo's not about that. So why the fuck did you decide to get a job working at 343? Because you clearly know nothing about the Halo franchise and you're just making a bunch of ideological dog shit up just to push your ideology around. That's the only reason you're fucking in Halo, isn't it? Because you just want to push your fucking ideology into it because you were so fucking offended and you thought, oh, I have to fix it. You didn't fix shit. And this is why the writing for a lot of modern media is shit, because you have people like this involved who will take issue with characters being put into situations where they need to be rescued or they have conflict or like anything like this, because they believe it's offensive to show these issues even though it's an M-rated game, and I think adults can handle seeing this shit because, you know, you can't have any impactful conflict anymore in modern media because these people might look at it and be like, hey, it's rape coded, or something stupid like that. And to add salt to the wound, these people despise the franchises they're working on, and it feels like they're just doing this out of spite. But these are the people in charge of gaming now. Most of them weren't in charge of before. They were journalists that wrote about how much they hated gaming, but then they got into the industry despite clearly despising the industry. They are here to make everyone miserable like them. The industry is a dumpster fire now, and is it any wonder they came to Halo and completely trashed it? They hired people that hated Halo. The point is, this is what happens when you rip off a plot point and try to put it into something that doesn't work. The elites are an honorable race. They aren't brutes. They aren't generic aliens. They are more nuanced than that. When you try to put shit where it doesn't fit, it leads to issues that conflict and cause many issues down the line. 343's games change so much about Halo that they cannot exist in the same timeline that Bungie's games came from. Speaking of alternate timelines, the Halo TV show, it's even more clear here that this was to be a ripoff of Mass Effect, to the point people theorize it was supposed to be a Mass Effect show at one point, but they only could get the rights to Halo. I didn't mention Chief yet, because I wanted to save it for this part of the video, but let's look at Chief's character. He's much more different than the previous games. He's more emotional, he has more in-depth character moments, he talks a lot more, which is very similar to how Shepard is in Mass Effect. And it completely goes against what Chief's character is all about. He's supposed to be a vessel for the player, he's not supposed to be Commander Shepard. He's supposed to be a husk that you inhabit, that you control. A character, just because a character is silent doesn't mean they don't have any character, and I hate that people act like, they took fucking Ghost from Modern Warfare 2, they put him in the reboot, now he talks, so that means he has character now. No, that's not how it works. Actions speak louder than words, and this is what these people don't understand. Master Chief has a ton of body language shown in Halo 3, for example, that shows his characterization and shows what he's thinking. You don't need him to talk as much. These people don't understand any form of subtlety. They need everything said out to them. And I could make a whole video going over that too. Similar to Shepard, Chief is also blessed as the Chosen One after getting some space magic from the Librarian that tells him about an ancient past, similar to what Vigil does with Shepard in Mass Effect 1. The comparisons are more clear in the TV show. I mean, Chief outright touches an artifact, like Shepard does, gets a vision on an ancient civilization from before that leads them to this location of a civilization's ruins. This is clearly the same shit. Then Chief bangs a prisoner of war, McKee, has a romance plot with her, like Shepard can in Mass Effect. Hell, she's pretty much an alien. Her name is the same of the female elite from Halo 5. Honestly, if they probably would have made her an elite. They should have. But the point is, Chief clapped the cheeks of a female elite and made Cortana watch like a cuck. Cortana got cucked! There's also a huge list I found that shows a lot of similarities the TV show has, so yeah, if you want to read more, there you go. It does seem like any Halo thing Kiki Wolfkill isn't connected to, it ends up having some emotional romance shit for Chief and some Mass Effect shit. Like, bitch, BioWare's next door, go apply for a job, do something you like instead of turning Halo into your discount romance plot. After Halo 5, it did seem like 343 got completely lost with what they were doing with Halo. Halo 5 put the Halo universe in such a bad state that they pretty much had to write off the Guardians off-screen in Infinite, and Infinite made a lot of bad story choices for Halo. The problem is 343 kept digging the Halo universe into a hole. It started with Halo 4 when they retconned the Forerunners to have this Mass Effect-like plot for no good reason because they were too lazy to actually build off the franchise they were given. Then Halo 5 made things worse with Space Hitler and her Chinese knockoff Reapers controlling the galaxy. Then Infinite came along, everything cool happened off-screen, they had the game take place on the most crucial Flood-focused Halo ring in the lore and did nothing with that setting, introduced some bullshit threat nobody cares about, turned the Banished into the Discount Covenant because people liked the Banished in Halo Wars 2, so they replaced their boring-ass Covenant with the Banished, gave them some bullshit reason to want to go on genocide of humanity by getting rid of a location that could have been used for a mission. Now the Halo story is in a state of limbo and it won't likely ever be concluded outside of a book that some YouTuber will probably summarize for you because Halo is a book franchise now that sometimes gets game adaptations every 5 to 10 years. I think them ripping off other trends or franchises says a lot about how 343 actually cares about Halo. They don't. They never did. They went into this franchise hating it and they wanted to change it to appeal to their desires. They wanted to change Halo to what they liked, not what the Halo fans liked. They couldn't man up and make their own franchise or game, or even work on a franchise they liked. They had to destroy something people loved for their own hedonistic desires, for profits, for their 9-to-5 paycheck, for their own desires. I think this is also a blatant example of how out of touch Microsoft and 343 are with Halo. It's been 10 years and they are still tunnel vision on shit nobody cares about. They have done nothing to really expand Halo's universe, and it's fucking sad. Halo is dead culturally. It's a niche thing now. Halo videos or topics on Halos, they don't get views. They don't get views. There is no interest. There is nothing for people to enjoy that's new other than mods or fan-created content. I make my mods because I want more Halo shit to play, and I don't want to be here angry that a franchise I love is fucking trash now. I hate seeing how big of a joke Halo is, that everyone goes out of their way to mock Halo now. 343 made it get like this, and it sucks to see something you love destroyed like this, and it's sadly the case of a lot of franchises now. And the only way to really deal with it is to vote with your wallet, focus on fan content, because we all know the people in charge are never going to make anything that's good ever again, for many reasons that I could get into in a future video. But yeah, I made this video because I love both original Halo and original Mass Effect, and I think the way 343 has blatantly trend chased and ripped off is the best case to make for why they don't give a shit about Halo. And now that the topic is done with, I do have some more modded content I want to talk about soon. I just have to finish working on it. I apologize for not being active on this channel. I've been really busy. These videos take a lot of time to make, time that I don't really have at the moment. I had someone offer to edit them, so perhaps I can get things sorted with him and we can get videos out faster. I have a lot to talk about Halo, and I really appreciate you guys watching this video and hearing what I have to say. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you people in the next video. Goodbye.